All right, welcome to part 3 of the Reseller Journal number 6 for January 2015. In the last journal, part 2, I ended with my goals for 2015, and I think it's great to have goals, but I also think it's important to realize perhaps, for some of us, at least me anyways, what it is you need to change about yourself in order to make those things happen. And I feel like I am pretty well self actualized in many ways as far as Maslow's idea of what self actualization is, which means that I am, interested in what's good for others around me, for society. I have a certain level of awareness, but at the same time, I'm at peace with it, with who I am, and at peace with the world. And I'm confident I still have more to learn, and I may change my stance on issues, perhaps. I may reframe the way I think of things, but for the most part, I'm 45 years old now. I am really at peace. And it is a really great foundation to start the new phase of my life, which is going to be my entrepreneurial endeavor and or all of my entrepreneurial endeavors, becoming the shark I want to be. Um, but that doesn't mean that there's still not things I need to work on. There's this saying that I love. It's called before enlightenment. Um, I lost my train of thought. Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. So before you sort of become maybe self actualized, in Maslow's terms, at least, that's kind of the way I'm thinking of it, you had to chop wood and carry water to survive. I mean, in the olden days, that's what you had to do. And now, in Western society, in America, chopping wood, carrying water means getting up in the morning and when you don't really feel like it and going to your job that, is helping you to survive. That's chopping wood and carrying water. There's still work that needs to be done. You still have to do your laundry. You still have to take the garbage out. You still have to do the dishes. And maybe you can get somebody to do those things for you, but you're probably going to have to pay them. Or maybe you have a significant other that you are supporting or partially supporting, and you need to be kind to them if you want them to continue to do those kinds of things so you don't have to, or at least be happy. And if you're abusing somebody that's doing that kind of stuff, then you're not self-actualized, you're not enlightened. But I'm sure most people who are abusing other people don't think they are. So anyways, I'm getting off track with my philosophical thinking, which I can spend a little bit too much time doing, but I'm ready to stop philosophizing so much. I mean, I'll always do that because I like it, but I, it's one of my things that I'm working on this year. And one of the things also that I've always sort of suffered from, I mean, there were times in my life where I wasn't like this, but I have a tendency to fall into this procrastination. I have procrastinators' tendencies more so than get her done tendencies. And I know some people who are they just can't stand it if things are not getting done. I mean, they just can't stand it. And that's not me. So I have to sort of resist that and plan for that. And so the old me was, I plan to seize the day tomorrow. My mom one time sent me a card, and that's what the card said on the front of it. I plan to seize the day. And then on the inside, it said tomorrow, because I'm always putting something off until tomorrow. And I have that on my refrigerator. I always thought it was funny. And I got to tell you, I'm throwing that in the garbage because I don't want that message uh, anywhere in my house, because that's not going to help me to become successful. Seizing the day tomorrow. So the new me, um, this is another quote. It came from this book called Zingers, The Complete Book of Zingers by Croft M. Pence. That's Pentz. And I'm assuming he got this quote from someone else. I don't think he made this up. I'm not sure, but he didn't really credit anybody specifically for this quote. I should take a look at that. If anybody's interested, I'll leave a message in the comments and we can have a discussion about it. But this is from a book that I just leave sitting on my desk, and every once in a while when I just feel like reading some quotes, I'll grab the book, or, I look them up online too, but I don't know, I kind of like having this book handy. So anyways, one of the quotes I found in there is, the preparation for tomorrow is the right use for today. So I am, instead of just thinking, oh, that's a great idea, but I'll do it tomorrow, or this needs to be done, and it can get done tomorrow. I'm going to be everything I do today is in preparation for tomorrow, really. Because right now I'm averaging, let's just say, $400 or $500 net a month in my reselling business, but tomorrow I want to be netting $1,000 a month. So if I don't do something about that today, it's not going to happen tomorrow. So that's the new me. This is going to be sort of one of my little inspiration mantras to keep me in the right direction, keep me inspired, keep me motivated. And technically, I guess I to become the new me in 2015, the biggest things I need to work on are the first thing I thought of was self-discipline, but then I thought that's like too non-specific. But specifically, it's completing tasks. Just simply completing tasks. And I think that has been a consistent message in a lot of my other journals that I'm finding. It's repeating itself, that I need to get stuff completed. And I just, and back down here at the bottom, let's just get that. I need to be a get-her-done person. I am doing. There's this idea about thinking in terms of I am, and you're more likely to be that. So I am doing. I am a get-her-done person. I don't need to sit in contemplation to achieve enlightenment. I have inner peace. Now I need to chop wood and carry water, and I gotta be the get-her-done person. And then also, like, I think a lot of times people in general, think of things as bad or good, but there's some ideas about that too, that you want to not think of things so much in those terms because they're too qualitative. You want to think of things as more specific. So what I want to do is I replace destructive habits with constructive habits. And let me tell you, I have some destructive habits that in fact, I'm working on those. I got to get serious, not just seizing the constructive habits tomorrow. I need to seize the constructive habits today. Okay, so those are sort of, ways I'm going to be thinking about things. And here's some other little inspirational things that I have found. Well, two of these I've already sort of been using and telling myself, and they seem to be working for me, and I don't want to let go of these little mantras. But I have this little message on my computer, and it says, how do I work as little as possible for the most amount of money? Now, this is not to say that you exploit people, or that in order to work as little as possible for the most amount of money that you hurt others in the process, or that you do something, illegal. It just means it's working smart. It's using time wisely. And I think what justifies that is this next one that I found out of that Zinger's book. And this, up here, this saying came from a gal who on YouTube, and I can't remember her name. If anybody's interested, let me know. She did a presentation about starting a clothing line. And she said, if you want to make money in this business, and really it applies to any business, you need to think, how do I work as little as possible for the most amount of money? And she asserts that wholesaling clothing is where the big money is, and it's working less for the most amount of money when you're a wholesaler in the clothing business. But I really think that's a good way to think. If you couple that with somebody with integrity, that person could be very successful with this kind of thinking. And as long as also they are acting and making the decisions that support this, that make this possible. But what justifies this is this quote I found in that Zinger's book: the most serious idleness of all is being busy with things that do not matter. So again, I think working as little as possible for the most amount of money is also not wasting time on things that don't matter. And I do have a tendency to do things that do not matter, that aren't moving me toward completion, which is the next thing. At the top of every hour, ask myself, is what I am doing right now moving me toward the completion of the priorities I've committed to? So, because I have a tendency to fall into doing things that don't matter, I dawdle, whatever. My mind goes off track, whatever the case may be. I've sort of been asking myself, is what I'm doing right now moving me toward the completion of the priorities I've committed to? And I haven't really been doing it at the top of every hour, and I'm hoping in part 2 I talked about getting a timer. And when I sit down to work, I am going to have my timer go off every hour, or maybe I'll just start setting my cell phone to go off every hour. But I think a timer will work better for me. And then when that timer goes off, I ask myself this question. Actually, what would be really neat is if the timer went off and this is what the timer said, rather than just, being a bell or something. Like, if it said this, I wonder if I could set my phone to do that. Because it has a voice recorder as far as I know. I don't know. Anyways, I'll have to look into that. So those are some of the inspiring things that have been inspiring me, that I feel like are important to my goals. And I am going to be reviewing these concepts often, and that's what I'm doing. This is my direction. And so, all right, I'm signing out, and I got to get to work. I got to go get her done. Thanks for watching. Bye.